Welcome back to all our Auburn recruiting junkies. We have yet another addition to Auburn men's basketball. That is 3 in 3 days. This time, though, we're going to go on the guard side of things to discuss this new addition. Let's give you those quick facts and, of course, what it means for Bruce Pearl and the Auburn Tigers. But before we do that, I want to welcome you back here to E2C Network, where we share the Auburn experience. We'd love for you, as always, to make sure that you're hitting that follow, subscribe button, and the like button if you enjoyed this type of content, because we love to talk about Auburn sports, Auburn culture, Auburn family stuff here. If it's orange and blue, it's what we do. So let's get into this today. We've got a brand new edition. I really, truly think this is not even 48 hours between that first one and that third one, the third one we're talking about now. 3 commitments, 3 additions in 3 days for the Auburn Tigers from the transfer portal. It's been an incredibly busy week for Auburn men's basketball news, and the season just ended. So let's get into this today. We're talking about brand new addition from Texas Tech. Yes, you heard me right. Texas Tech has been pretty prominent in the basketball space for a while now. His name is Kevin Overton, a guard coming over from the Red Raiders. He was a sophomore there with them, so he comes into Auburn technically as a junior with roughly 2 years of eligibility left to use here. Now, his journey began from Oklahoma, where he's from. He started out at Drake. That's a prominent basketball school for mid-majors that you should know, and then decided to transfer over to the Red Raiders, where he saw a little bit less time and maybe a little bit less usage, but certainly we'll look at some stats and things in a little bit. But just to give you an idea of his progression, what are his measurables? What are we looking at in terms of what he's bringing to the table? What type of player is he going to be? On their website, he's listed at about 6'5", 200 pounds. A lot of people are categorizing him as a combo guard, which is probably a correct categorization for him. You could say small forward if you wanted to or something like that. But the 2 spot, the 3 spot, however you'd like to put him in there, he's pretty much going to be a guard, a larger guard for you, at least for Auburn's basketball and their usage of him. Now, in terms of the other storylines around him, it's actually pretty funny. I think this was reported by On3 that there was a visit being set up for him, or already set up, but he got on a meeting with the coaches and apparently just wanted to commit right away. How good is that? The coaches, all they had to do is say hello to him. I know it didn't really happen exactly like that, but he wanted to commit, and I'm sure he'll come visit or just come right on over the next few days. That's just a funny little story out of that. Let's take a look at some stats. It will help us get a better picture of what he's bringing to the table in terms of those numbers. Now, look at this right here. You're going to see that obviously last year was at Texas Tech, and then the year before that was at Drake. You can look at both of them to compare. You can see that his minutes drop off, his points drop off, all that stuff in the last year. There's been some discussion about a lack of usage there, but what I like is I see a lot of consistency and high free throw percentage. 3-point percentage is pretty good. Field goal percentage is definitely good. So you get an idea of what he's bringing to the table, right? Across Drake, across Texas Tech, he's a guy that can shoot. He's a guy that can play that 2 or 3 spot. He's a good combo guard. Probably a good categorization for him. Now that you've got the quick facts, let's talk about what this individual, Kevin Overton, is meaning for Bruce Pearl, for himself, for the Auburn basketball team going forward. Always want to start off by looking at the numbers for this class. At the time of his commitment, it made it 8 total commits in the class for Auburn men's basketball, and 3 of those in 3 days. This would be the 5th of those would be a transfer type of situation, with 2 being from the JUCO ranks, and this would be the 3rd traditional from a major conference or non-JUCO transfer over into the Auburn Tigers. Those other 3 being the high schools. We've done videos about all those. You should go definitely check them out. And depending on where you categorize and say that the others in this class are going to be utilized, this would probably make it the 3rd true or combo guard in the class so far. Caden Magwood, Simon Walker would definitely be ones that would fit that category. Some would argue Abdul Bashir. There's a lot of discussions around these things. What we do know is that he's going to bring a lot of versatility to his role, as we've seen throughout the majority of his career. What does this mean in terms of his usage? Obviously, versatility means that he has got a lot of options of where he can be played and utilized the best. I think, obviously, some departures today, which were very interesting, may have opened a window for a spot there at the 3. A lot of people want to put him at the 2. You might have to compete with Caden Magwood, Simon Walker there, some others as well, Abdul Bashir. I wouldn't say right away that this is a guy that's coming straight and going to win starting time Absolutely no questions asked. But what I do love is the versatility, as I keep saying, that he brings to the table. That's going to give him options to be utilized wherever he needs to be. I certainly think that he's going to see an uptick in the minutes that he had at Texas Tech this last year here at Auburn, especially with all the space that's opened up. And finally, what does it mean for the rest of this class? Well, as much as things have been lost or people departed to the transfer portal, to the NBA draft, all these different things, we're starting to pile them in there pretty quickly. In fact, if you kind of look at it, the Dylan Cardwell role has been filled. So has the Janai Broom role has been filled. You could make an argument, I would say, maybe this is the Miles Kelly role type of situation. They seem to match up on measurables. So we're starting to fill those spots that were vacated, 3 transfers in, 3 transfers out technically. I'm starting to wonder how many more we will take. I definitely don't think that we're done yet. A lot of people are pointing to the small forward position, given that Chad Baker-Mazar has decided to go into that portal as a spot to look forward to, and that probably is the case. But right now, it's looking pretty good with us being able to fill those needs pretty quickly in the transfer portal, and it's starting to fill up pretty nicely. What do you guys think about him? Let me know down there in the comments section below. We'd love to hear from you. As always, we appreciate you being here where we share the Auburn experience. War Eagle.